The most dangerous block in Chicago isn't in Englewood or on the west side. It's a stretch of South King Drive where a young Michelle Obama once lived. They call it O Block. On maps, it's the 6400 block of South Drive Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. But it's just O Block to people there and in frequent references to the street in the blood-drenched lyrics of Chief Keef and other Chicago rappers. The sprawling Parkway Gardens low-income apartment complex sits on one side of the street. A string of businesses including an auto zone, a food mart and the Chicago Crusader newspaper lines the other. Young men in hoodies and low-riding jeans gather in the courtyards here, staring down strangers. Mothers hurry past, holding tight to little hands as they shuttle between the neighborhood school and the safety of their apartments. Security cameras posted nearly everywhere here see it all. Gang members gave O Block the name. The O was for 20-year-old O.D. Perry, a gang member gunned down just around the corner on a summer's night in 2011. His killer? A 17-year-old female gang assassin named K.I. Perry was one of 19 people shot on O Block between June 2011 and June 2014. That makes it the most dangerous block in Chicago in terms of shootings in that 3-year period. Chief Keef, Lil Durk, Lil Reese, and many other up-and-coming rappers were among the first to emerge from O Block. King Von's breakthrough in the late 2010s followed. O Block rose to prominence as Chicago's best drill place. These rappers I mentioned were successful in getting O Block in front of lots of ears worldwide. Following King Von's demise, a number of younger artists entered the rap drill scene, some even attempted to mimic their old comrade style of rapping. In this video I will take you through all the rappers from O Block from the 2010s to now, so sit back and relax. Chief Keef is a rapper and producer, known as one of the central pioneers and propagators of the prominent Chicago drill style. He was 16 upon signing a multi-million-dollar record contract with Interscope Records. Keef is also the CEO of his own label imprint Glory Boys Entertainment, later renamed to Glow Gang. He released his debut mixtape, The Glory Road, on July 9, 2011 followed by Bang in October that year. Keef's debut album Finally, Rich was released in December 2012. In December 2011, he was arrested on a weapons charge, aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, and put under house arrest at his grandmother's home. While under house arrest, Keef posted several videos to his YouTube account. The attention he received grew in the short time between the release of several mixtapes and several of music videos. In the following years, Keef has served up a continuous stream of releases. Fredo Santana, the older cousin of Chicago rapper Chief Keef. Him and Chief Keef funded the label Glow Gang for independence. Santana began recording music in 2011, releasing a series of mixtapes throughout 2012 and 2013. His debut studio album, Trappin' Ain't Dead, was released on October 31, 2013, via Savage Squad, and peaked at number 45 on the US Billboard 200. Santana's second studio album, Fredo Krueger 2, a sequel to his 2013 mixtape Fredo Krueger, was released on September 8, 2017. On the evening of January 19, 2018, at around 11:30 p.m. local time, Santana's girlfriend discovered him unresponsive at their home in Reseda, Los Angeles. Shortly after, Santana was pronounced dead, aged 27. He had a fatal seizure, and an autopsy revealed he had developed cardiovascular disease in addition to the previous conditions he had. Lil Reese is one of the top Black Disciples artists. He gained recognition when he was featured on Chief Keef's hit, I Don't Like, which garnered widespread international attention. He then began to receive popularity through his music videos, including Us and Beef. He then caught the eye of producer No ID, who had produced albums or tracks for artists such as Common, Kanye West, and others, which led Lil Reese to sign with hip-hop label Def Jam. In November 2012, he released a remix for his song, Us, with Rick Ross and Drake, which later appeared on Rick Ross' mixtape The Black Bar Mitzvah. He also created many songs with up-and-coming music producers, such as Young Chop. During his music career, he closely came to death. In November 2019, while driving in the suburbs area of Chicago, Reese was ambushed and was shot in the neck by a masked gunman before fleeing in a car. He was taken by an individual where he was in stable condition. Reese survived the incident and released his song Come Outside a month later. After this incident, on May 15, 2021, Reese and two others were injured in a shooting in downtown Chicago. He was grazed in the eye and was transported to Northwestern Hospital where he survived the shooting. One of Chicago's most underappreciated rappers is Muwap. Around 2020, he started posting music on YouTube. One of his songs, Spin It, has received 1.6 million views. Another good tune, Nobody Move, features King Von. It does not end there, he released a couple of videos which have over 1 million views on YouTube. He was very close to King Von, and Von even referred to Muwap as his bodyguard and shouted him out in multiple songs.
Ain't that right, my young nigga? This Muwap, he crazy. He got all type of body. No, just play.
Before moving to O Block, Muwap lived on 119th and LaSalle, which is Buff G City, in which O Block legend, O.D. Perry is also from. On October 13, 2021, Muwap, C-Tang, C-Murda, Kenny Mack and Los Munna were arrested and sentenced for the murder of FBG Duck. This totally destroyed Muwap's career. Rapper DQ from Dow was born in O Block and attended 5 different schools as a child before deciding to drop out because he was constantly getting into trouble. The first person he made friends with in O Block was Muwap. He later went on to meet King Von and other members, but at the age of 16, he made the decision to leave O Block due to the unfavorable atmosphere there. Following King Von's passing, DQ from Dow made the decision to pursue rap seriously and dropped a few tracks. Songs like Body Parts and With That are among his best performing tracks. He is still developing, we hope to see him blow in the near future. Lil Gooch was one of the rising stars in Chicago until he was arrested. He is well known for being a shooter in O Block, but I don't know if he got any bodies. The way he talks looks like he has a few. He started rapping alongside King Von and Lil Durk prior to his incarceration. He put out a few tracks, with It Stuck There being his biggest hit. Although his exact release date is unknown, we hope to see him set free so he may keep putting out albums and mixtapes. Bosstop, also known as Top and Boss T, is one of the original members of Black Disciples from O Block. Before he moved to O Block around 2004 to 2007, he was a gangster disciple from No Love City. Bosstop is most known for breaking into one of Chief Keef's house and stealing multiple items from the house alongside C-Murda and a few others. Bosstop was very close to fellow O Block member, T-Roy, and T-Roy was even named Lil Boss T. Some of his most popular songs include Hell Nah, Come From, and 30 Chop Paws, which features Lil Durk. His 2022 song, Shameless, which features King Von, has gained over 1 million streams on Spotify. Around June of 2023, Bosstop was sentenced to 5 years in prison for a gun possession conviction, but don't expect the streets of Chicago to call for his freedom due to his alleged status as a snitch. He was officially convicted of a Class 2 felony for possession and use of a firearm as a convicted felon, which carries a 5-year sentence. At the time of publishing, his parole date is listed as to be determined, and his release date is sometime in 2028 if parole isn't granted. In 2018, after seeing the success of his friends like Lil Durk in the music industry, King Von decided to give it a shot himself. He was trying to turn his life around for the better, and was encouraged to do so by his friends. Lil Durk signed him to his label, OTF, and he released his breakout single Crazy Story on December 6, 2018. With the backing from his friend Lil Durk, the track almost immediately blew up and put Vaughn on the map. Having all the cameras on him was a hard adjustment for him to have to make at first, but he quickly got the hang of it with guidance from Durk. Vaughn continued to drop music throughout the next few years, and continued to collaborate with his friend Lil Durk, and quickly continued to grow his fan base. In June of 2019, Vaughn and Lil Durk were both arrested in connection with a shooting in Atlanta. Prosecutors alleged the two men robbed and shot a man outside a popular Atlanta drive-in on February 5, 2019. Both men were charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm, and criminal intent to commit murder, among other charges, though they were both able to post bail, Vaughn for $250,000, and Durk for $300,000. But this only helped bring fame to his name, as getting locked up often does for so many artists. And his career began to see new heights. He was going on tour with Lil Durk, and was finally making money and not living in the streets. Then, on November 6, 2020, when Vaughn and his crew left the Opium nightclub, headed to the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. Since Vaughn was a felon, and he had the pending case with Lil Durk, he was not able to carry a firearm. At around 2:15 a.m., Vaughn was tragically involved in an altercation with rapper Quando Rondo and his crew outside of the hookah lounge. The two groups began to argue and eventually shots were fired. Quando Rondo and Vaughn got into a first fight, and Quando Rondo's friend, Lil Tim, allegedly opened fire on Vaughn, striking him multiple times. Chaos immediately ensued. Lil Tim was shot at by one of Vaughn's friends, and two officers opened fire from two different locations. 6 men were shot during the entire altercation, and Vaughn, along with 2 other men, tragically passed away as a result of their injuries. Lil Durk began to catch on in the early 2010s when he was still a teenager, bringing pop touches to a raw lyrical style and helping set the pace for the melodic sound that Chicago became known for as the decade progressed. His fame grew as he grappled with various legal troubles, and he released multiple albums that charted in the higher regions of the Billboard 200, with Love Songs for the Streets 2 released in 2019 and The Voice released in 2020, both reaching the top 5. He started his first breakthrough on social media channels like MySpace and YouTube, and grew fond of the idea of being a rapper as his online fan base started to expand. Durk took his career more seriously after becoming a father at 17 and dropping out of school, in order to join the Black Disciples. Soon after joining, he began to get into trouble with the law and served time in October 2011 due to gun charges, including possession of a firearm with a defaced serial number. He later pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of aggravated unauthorized use of a weapon. According to court records, the rapper started issuing mixtapes through his collective OTF, Only the Family. Rapper Munna Duke is doing quite well for himself. His clothing line is one of his many successful ventures. His rap career is also booming. Among the videos he has released, 12 AM, and We Slide, are the ones that really caught my attention. He is the cousin of Lil Reese. He was close with King Von and J Money. Duke was taken into custody in February 2024 on suspicion of having a silencer and firearms. He was previously granted release from prison in 2021, but he is now back in court on fresh allegations. Ocho Munna, Chicago's chosen one, is an expression of evolution. Born and raised in O Block of Southside Chicago, Ocho survived a life of drugs and gang violence. After making a conscious decision to change his life for the better, Ocho turned his focus from the streets to his music in 2018 and set forth a paradigm shift. He's put out mixtapes as a solo artist, including Grind, the mixtape, and Sorry for the Grind. In addition, he has released a few videos, one of which is called Bin It and features Ron Taylor. Chicago rapper Prince Dre is certainly a star from jump. Born DeAndre, he grew up in Chicago in the Woodlawn area, mainly O Block. The oldest of 4 children, Prince Dre saw a bit of everything growing up. Only in his 20s, Dre has had to deal with the deaths of many loved ones over the last 11 years, including his brother, rapper King Von, who passed away just recently. Focused more than ever, Prince Dre is ready to go full steam ahead. His music has been well received, including Back Again, his gold record collaboration with King Von and Lil Durk. Also being featured on Showtime paper walking out welterweight champion Jaron Ennis. One thing for certain, Prince Dre is guaranteed to blow. He has worked with artists such as Lil Durk, King Von, Fredo Bang, and many others. Growing up, Prince Dre's inspiration to rap came from drill creator Pac-Man, while listening to the likes of Lil Wayne, many New Orleans artists, Dipset, and old-school R&B artists. In the near future, Prince Dre has his eyes set on working with Future, Lil Wayne, pop and county artist, and a few others. With many stereotypes put on rappers, Prince Dre uses it as fuel. With aspirations to purchase his neighborhood, provide jobs, and make a change in the community, Prince Dre will be a name you always remember. Let's now discuss the latest O Block generation. O Block Bands is one of the fresh ones, still young, and you can see he is influenced by King Von with his rapping style. He chose to be named after O Block because this shows how much he loves where he comes from. With a couple of songs out at a young age, he is doing good. One of his songs are called Demon Time, with over 100,000 views on YouTube. The other, I Like Myself, is called Slide, with over 83,000 views. In my opinion, I see the next Von here, but we will see with time. My favorite rapper to come out of O Block is J. Louis V. I hope he learns from the mistakes made by his bigger brothers and just concentrates on his music. These young men have a great chance of succeeding in the drill rap scene. His videos are performing really well on YouTube. He has a few out. I hope you listen to some of these songs. Used to This has over 13,000 views on YouTube. Baby Block has over 51,000 views. On the song Spin It by Muwap, which has 1.6 million views on YouTube, he was featured. Another member of the O Block, Big Wunny, was given a 7-year prison sentence for possessing a gun. He is presently serving his sentence. He was arrested for gun-related offenses for the first time when he was 13 years old, and for the second time when he was 17. Lil Durk and Chief Keef inspired him to start rapping. He published the music video, Welcome to Death, on YouTube in 2020, and it became incredibly popular, receiving over 1.4 million views. Having received over 309,000 views, his hit song, Jado 4L, was also well received. Munna Duke, another young person to come out of O Block, Mond has released a few videos. No Hook is one of them. It has received over 34,000 views on YouTube. Mond is a rapper from the younger generation. Aroy, Munna Duke's OG O Block member, and Mond got into a fight in January 2022. Aroy assaulted Mond and began beating him up on the ground. When Mond rose up, he pulled out a gun and started firing, instantly killing Aroy. Everyone in the vicinity assumed Mond and Aroy belonged to the same gang set, thus this startled the entire O Block. Vaughn and T-Voy were very close friends of Aroy. This comes to the end of this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos.